This is Swami Rajguru, and today I'll talk about Rasa Vijnana, Rasa Vidya, or ancient Indian alchemy. So we call it Rasa. What is Rasa? The literal meaning of Rasa is the essence of life. So this is how we describe the creation. Initially, there was a complete static state, uh, uncomprehendable state, and there was a certain quality to it. The quality, we call that quality as Shiva. That quality or that rasa, actually, when we talk about rasa, uh, the essence of that, which is primordial, is everywhere, is in everything. So we call that static state, the fundamental state of existence, as Shiva. And then it changes its quality through dynamism. When the dynamic aspect gets introduced into that static nature, then it changes its quality. So the dynamism is called as Shakti. And we have always seen the creation as Shiva Shakti principle. But the essence of both the things is rasa, quality. You can call it quality. For the lack of uh, vocabulary in English language, we have to use certain language. We have to use certain terms which doesn't reflect the meaning of the original Sanskrit version. Uh, for the reason that Sanskrit is not an objective language. It is rather a qualitative language. When you say something in Sanskrit, it doesn't denote the object, it rather denotes the quality of that object or the rasa of that object. For example, when we say body, it doesn't mean anything. But since the particular pronunciation has been used for uh, denoting or to indicate a human body, you actually correlate. But the Sanskrit term, deha, it has meaning in three different levels or more. The first level, it has a meaning, something, which is an aggregation. So deha means aggregation. Deha also means expansive quality, which expands, keeps expanding. There are numerous cells which keeps forming, and there are numerous cells which keeps dying. So it's always keeps changing. Uh, Change is always looked as in terms of some kind of a movement or expansion. Then the third meaning of this deha is it encloses something. So it has enclosed a consciousness inside. Deha, the moment you say deha, you can actually decode everything about this body. Similarly, when we say Ayurveda, which has now become a very kind of a marketed term, but it doesn't mean herbs. Ayu means virility. Ayu means aliveness, which is a quality. Aliveness is a quality. So the method to gain aliveness is Ayurveda. So the method of creating a quality is Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a Rasha Shastra, or the science of creating qualities. When you say yoga, which is again a common term across the globe. So yoga fundamentally means creating a quality of expansion, or rather creating a quality of integrity, or um, a quality where you can receive the largest or the whole. So creating a quality, yoga is also creating a quality. For that matter, astrology and astronomy, the way it started in India, was to see what quality a certain arrangement creates. That becomes astrology. And astronomy also was in terms of what and where and how qualities get created. Mathematics was just quantification of the whole observation. So any kind of science that originated in India thousands of years back, it has some relationship, or rather the fundamental uh, state from which it actually grew up was rasa, or the quality. Uh, Ancient Indian alchemy now you, has been now is used in a particular sense, but it has too wide an application as we can even think of. So the whole purpose of Rasa Vijnana or Rasa Shastra was how to imbibe, how to create a quality in a substance or in a life without changing the basic configuration of that. And it adopted a complete different approach than what we call as modern chemistry. So modern chemistry and metallurgy, in that sense, has a different kind of approach to elements. But ancient Indian alchemy has a completely different approach to elements or even life. Now, after going ahead to this extent, the state at which the modern science has reached, there is one realization which needs to come, if it has not come, but in many people it has started coming, that by changing the composition or the fundamental ingredients or the fundamental structure of things, we are distorting life around. For example, changing human functioning by introducing some kind of a chemical is a destructive process rather than a solution for something. Every medicine is destroying human life at its core, at its fundamental. Human genome is getting distorted by use of chemicals. So the medical science, which we call as medical science, I won't call it science because there is no science in it as such. It has become a destructive process. The way we are doing economy, the way we are doing education and other things, everything is destructive in nature. We are changing the fundamental composition of everything, of nature, of this body, of everything. This has come from a state where we don't understand life in its fundamental. It is just survival that we are trying to address somehow. So Rasa Vigyan has to come up if we really want the whole humanity, the life and the fundamental life of existence to be not disturbed, or to actually create more aliveness and life around, within human body or around also. Now, there are many applications to creating quality. One example which is obviously known across the globe is in India we solidify mercury without changing the composition. At the room temperature, we solidified mercury. So the fundamental quality of existence, as I said, Shiva, it also means rasa. And mercury, we also call mercury as rasa, having the same quality. That is why when we solidify it, otherwise it's fluid. When we solidify it, it acquires an unwavering state. It actually mimics the unwavering state of existence. That is why in India, we use mercury to build up Shivalingas or Paradlingas. Mercury is a state or a quality which can stabilize anything. So it can stabilize a functioning which has got difficult or some discrepancy of functioning within a human body. If you want to stabilize it, mercury can be used. It can stabilize any other element, discrepancy or some kind of wavering in another element. So this mercury is used as a base for stabilization. But what do we stabilize? We stabilize a quality. Can we consume mercury? We cannot consume mercury. It is toxic in nature. But if we remove the toxicity, we can consume mercury. And yogis have been consuming mercury. For that matter, I have also consumed mercury. So I'll give you one example. Uh, now these are pallets. If you can see, it contains mercury. Mercury has been used to uh, combine various things. There are elements in it like gold, silver, diamond, and there are herbs in it. It is used to in the condition of cancer, and because it's a certain combination. If you just vary the combination and stabilize it, it can make a person come out of cancer within 7 days. Now, this is the science I'm saying. In terms of creating a product, we need to do a lot of experimentation and research on that. Already we have a product, but still we need to come up with the most potent kind of a combination. It has helped a lot of cancer people also. Now, arsenic, arsenic cannot be consumed. Sankhya in Indian system, we call it Sankhya. But see, this is arsenic. And in the powder form, and I've been consuming it for long. Now, you cannot consume it in a simple manner. You have to create a certain quality in it or remove a certain dosha in it. Then only it will, your body will not get it harmed by it. Otherwise, it will kill human system immediately. So, like in this resin, these are resin in which very small quantity of arsenic is put. So you can actually see, if you see it clearly, it has a dark spot inside. So that is how it is consumed. A quantity half as half the size of a sesame seed. The way human body is constructed or manufactured naturally, it has 7 stages of construction, or 7 different qualities it acquires. Rasa, rasa is the essence which it takes. It takes essence in the form of food. It takes essence in the form of air around, and it also takes essence in the form of the situation, the environment. So when it consumes food, food is always termed as a quality. Uh, uh, Considering food as some protein, fat, carbohydrate, vitamins, minerals, is a very kiddish or childish way of looking at food. Food has quality, and the quality gets converted into another quality. So that is why we've called food as rasa. Not food, but rasa. So rasa gets converted to rakta. Rakta is another quality of rasa. It gets converted into mansa, tissues. We're talking about different kinds of tissues. So every tissue has different qualities. So it is a quality which is changing. Meda, the adipose tissue. Asthi, bones, the hardened one. Majja, the bone marrow. Shukra, the uh, end result of this endeavor, and that is sperm and ovum, the reproductive tissues. So it is a quality which uh, gets one step higher, and it requires a certain amount of energy. And there is a process to it. The same process we apply in Rasa Vijnana to create certain quality in an element, in a herb, or to take off a certain dosha or bad quality from it. So when mercury goes through 8 kind of processes, uh, this is also called as Ashtasiddhi, or creating a quality uh, by 8 different activities in it, then it becomes consumable. We can also create quality in an element or a metal. So, for example, just by changing the quality of certain herbs, we can create diamond. So I'll give you one example of that. If you can see the screen, this is a created kind of a half diamond. You can call it half diamond. It needs to go through certain processes. Then the density is same as diamond. It will become as hard as diamond. So it is of yellow color. We can create diamond of white color. See the white color and other colors also. Not only that, we can build in the quality of silver in something or gold in something. That is what people across the world were attracted by ancient Indian alchemy, because of creation of gold, or convert something into gold. Yes, the quality will become gold, but the process is something which is always hidden or kept secret due to the risk of use of these methods in destroying the balance of existence. But it finds its usability in so many different verticals, or different areas of life. One example again. So there is something called as Qutub Minar in Delhi, and in front of Qutub Minar there is a Lauha Stambha, the iron pillar. Now 1600 years it has been standing, and it has not rusted. no rust in it. Now, this is a quality of softness which has been created in the iron. When iron becomes soft, it can go up to the softness of silver. It will not rust. The more hard we make it, the faster it will rust. But again, we can make it as closer to the hardness of diamond also. We can also create oil of diamond. Make diamond oil in a room temperature. Not only diamond, gold also, and silver also. We can burn silver in such a way that it forms a white powder, not a black powder. You won't find a bhasma of silver white, but there is a methodology to it. Now, this is not something which is written, it always comes in a lineage. So, pharmaceuticals are in the vertical of what you call as medicine, and then metallurgy, and then superconductivity. You can name anything: space technology, defense technology, uh, electronics, IT. It has so much application. Almost like science is getting closer to a wall. They can't go beyond it. The more they go beyond, the more they get confused. There is a completely different approach that we need if you want to take it forward. And it will come from ancient Indian alchemy. Many applications. Many applications. I'll give you a few more applications. Like now, if you see, this is a greenish powder. This is basically Marijuana extract. Now, Marijuana is always used as some kind of a stoning agent or creating a narcotic agent. But in India, Marijuana is always considered as Amrita, or something which can carry anything inside a human system. For like in homeopathy, alcohol is used as a base to carry as a carrier. In Ayurveda, many Ayurveda formulations have marijuana as a base for taking anything into your brain or nervous system. This can be used as a base, and the quality of whatever is included in it can be enhanced many folds, like 100,000 times, and it can create an impact which is instantaneous, much better than critical care chemical medicines, much better than that, without any side effect. So if you mimic the process of manufacture of this body and create a medicine around it, that medicine will never create a wrong impact on the body, which modern medicine is doing. So adverse drug reaction is something which needs a redressal at this point of time. Now this is something, this is a powder. If you just put a little water in it, it becomes like gum. It just sticks around. Now, something called as Dhat Rog, where your elements are disintegrating, like diabetes or erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation. In women, it's discharge. When the elements are disintegrating, this can be used as an integrating factor in the body. Black powder, like it has a mercury essence to it. This is black powder. It has a mercury essence to it. If you can see the reddish powder in it, this is another thing, very effective in liver issues. A white powder that you can see, it's again, it has a mercury touch to it and other things also along with it. It immediately intacts your gum, or it can be used as an very powerful astringent without a chemical. There is no harmful impact of this. And if somebody uses it as a tooth powder, the person will not get into issues of gums, teeth, and will not have to go for some kind of root canal treatment. These are again the palettes which are used in many different issues. Oil can also be, it can be an darkish kind of a gel kind of a form and a liquidy oil kind of a form. When gold is converted into oil, the impact is very powerful. Now, is there a risk of heavy metal going in the body? No. If you change the quality, then there is no trace of heavy metal. You will not be able to trace heavy metal. But the way it has been processed at this point of time, many Ayurvedic medicine have those heavy metals because it is not processed correctly. We have almost like lost the science is there in some coded form, but we lost the applicability of that. At this point of time, it is important that an out of the box thought process comes up, and uh, we create things which doesn't harm life, the human life and the life around, and rather empowers it. So ancient Indian alchemy is something which can become the pivot or the pillar for doing that. Uh, we want people to join hands because it needs a lot of research. It will have, we have at this point of time, we have more than 700 formulation. But see, unless until there is a demand, we can do create those products and then use it on people, and as per how the people gets result, they can use it further on. It can be marketed. So we need people, we need brains, we need money to come in for the research of these kind of things, and it will have, we can come up with products, and people who would aid our research can also can then have the right of marketing that product. Uh, in structure, metallic structure like vehicles, spacecrafts, rockets, missiles, hypersonic missiles, it can find a very uh, pivotal, important relevance. We can go ahead. We can go ahead in terms of exploring life and science without disturbing it. So we need people, we need brains, we need to establish labs, we need to establish certain uh, uh, mechanized way of doing it, and we need people to take these to people who need it. It has application in almost every form of human life. So medicine, food, you can enhance the quality of water and make people healthy or genetically strong. You can enhance the quality of all the food that you are eating, and through Rasavidya, and improve the quality of human beings. Whatnot. It just name anything and it has a relevance there. So we want people to support us in this endeavor in taking this huge science for the benefit of humankind. Thank you.